Yeah. So in the yesterday session, in the demo session, just I have provided the basic information on what is CRM and what is dynamic CRM and what are the competitors in dynamic CRM and all. Just for a recap, yesterday we are discussing about what is CRM and why to use CRM and coming to this dynamic CRM, what is this dynamic CRM and what are the competitors for this dynamic CRM in the market. Like Salesforce CRM, we have Oracle CRM, SAP CRM, Zoho, Sugar, and Sugar CRM, and all. And we just given some introduction on what is the market position and who is the market leader regarding the CRM perspective. And currently, as I mentioned, compared to Dynamics, Salesforce is little bit ahead. The reason I have provided it is like Dynamics 365, it's single tenant architecture, and the Salesforce is multi-tenant architecture. So regarding the cost perspective, Salesforce is something less when compared to Dynamics 365. That's one of the reason where it is ahead. And the industries which are using the CRM softwares, it is like automobiles, manufacturing, utilities, health sector, oil and industry, banking, and etc. So these are some of the industries where regularly using the CRM applications. That means these sectors you are going to get a job opportunities on these sectors. And coming to this integrations part, any product, as you know, it should provide some flexibility where we can integrate and use the different functionality at the applications, right? Then only it will have more impact, right? The customer can have more impact to utilize the all the features and all. Like to maintain the document and all, we have the SharePoint for document management so that we can easily integrate the SharePoint and Teams integration, Outlook. These like many integrations, which is, I mean to say, just with easy steps, you can integrate the Dynamics 365 with other applications. As you know, lot of applications provided by Microsoft itself. It is very easy to integrate the applications. That's the advantage with the Dynamics CRM. And coming to the job perspective and the terminology wise, we have a lot of confusion in the market. I just provided what is this Microsoft CRM, Dynamics 365, and D365. These are the different names where we could see in the market. All are same. That is Microsoft CRM and Dynamics 365, D365. Everything is same here. So no need of confusion on this part. And in Dynamics 365, as I mentioned, there is two things. One is CE, that is customer engagement, and Dynamics 365 finance and operations. F&O. Again, there is two things in the Dynamics 365, that is CE and F&O. If you are looking for the CE, you no need to bother about F&O. And if you are looking for the F&O, then you no need to think about CE. That means as a consultant, one thing is sufficient to build up your career. One thing is more than sufficient. As I just given an example, I'm working in Dynamics for last 12 years and total IT like 15. Among it, I'm working in with Dynamics 365 CE from last 12 years. So without knowing ABC of F&O. That means it's not required for you to learn F&O if you are going to the CE. If someone suggested you for Dynamics 365, first you need to ask whether I need to go for customer engagement in Dynamics 365 or finance and operations, right? That means you need to choose the right one. If it is like, if someone asks you like what you are trying, in which platform you are looking for, it should not be like D365. It should be like D365 CE or D365 F&O. If you search in the job portals, you can have different positions for the Dynamics 365 CE and different positions for Dynamics 365 F&O. No company is expecting from the consultants that both, I mean to say, both skills with one consultant. No company will expect like that. So the company will recruit different candidates for these two, right? And coming to this Dynamics 365 CE and F&O, just for your clarification, I just provided these are some of the business core applications which is provided in the customer engagement and F&O. Coming to this customer engagement, here we are going to see marketing, sales, service, and field service. These are the core business applications which we are going to look in Dynamics 365 CE. Whereas in finance and operations, it is like finance, supply chain management, warehouse, and project operations are the core business applications. These consultant will need to learn these applications. That means F&O consultant should learn these applications, and Dynamics 365 CE consultant should learn these particular applications to sustain in the market, right? And regarding the job perspective, just I have provided what would be the title role of, I mean to say, the title of job, like consultant or senior consultant and all. For Dynamics 365 CE, we have function consultant and technical consultant. I just provided for the technical consultant, along with this, you need to have the C# code extra. If you are looking for the functional consultant, this is more than enough. You don't need to bother about the coding. And job perspective, yes, we have the calls like for the functional consultant. No panic in that thing. We have a lot of options in the functional consultant as well. And it is like 45 days course, which I just explained. And to practice and all, you need to have a trial account so that whatever we are discussing, you need to practice in the trial account from the fourth or fifth day. After getting some basic introduction and all, you start building your application and all from fourth or fifth day. That's you need to perform that in your trial account. That I will explain you how to create a trial account and all. No need of worry about the installation or the practice thing. And yesterday, just I want to mention this part. You may ask, like, if it is Dynamics CRM in the second position and Salesforce CRM in the first position, then why can't I choose Salesforce CRM, right? As this is the market leader currently. So for now, it is the first, and this is Dynamics CRM in the second. But after 4 to 5 years, as per my knowledge, and as I'm in the market from long period, as per my knowledge, Dynamics CRM is going to get the first position within 4 to 5 years. That is one thing, and the other one is now the compared to the job perspective here. Here you have the scope of going to the functional side or technical side. I mean to say, if you are not good at coding part, if you are not good at coding part, and if you feel that I don't want to go with the coding perspective, coding side and all, then in Dynamic CRM, you have a flexibility, you have an option to go as Dynamic 365 CE functional consultant without knowing the coding skill, that is C#. But whatever required in the C# or coding perspective, that's we are going to cover in this concept. Whatever it's required for the functional consultant, that knowledge we are going to share. I mean to say, in Dynamics CRM, if you want to start your career, you can go with functional consultant. But in the Salesforce, no company is recruiting for the functional consultants. It's definitely will be a technical consultant only. No functional consultant roles for the Salesforce. Long back they used to take for admin, they will take it as Salesforce administrator. But nowadays they are not taking for such roles, right? That's the one thing I mean to say. Of course, whatever the companies are decided to use their product. Now, let's say as yesterday we are discussing about the BMW, right? Just one example I have provided. That's business, the client interest, which he can choose, right? Dynamics or Salesforce. But as a consultant, you need to be prepared how you are going to design or how you are going to build up your career, right? That's about the Dynamics CRM. If you want to, I mean to say, the conclusion which I could say in Dynamics CRM, you can go along both like technical or functional. That's up to you. This is what actually yesterday we are discussing on the demo perspective. Today, let's have one step ahead, like into Dynamics CRM. What exactly this Dynamics CRM and how you are going to start the Dynamics CRM, and let's cover these topics today, right? Here, let me have. I already created a trial account for this class purpose. So whatever the applications or whatever the softwares you are creating, right? So here the first thing here. Now, the same BMW company, let's take the same example. Now, BMW company has decided to go with Dynamics CRM, right? Now, what is the first step they will do? I mean to say, in the business perspective, they need to take a license from the Microsoft CRM, right? What is this licenses and all? We'll discuss that separately. There will be some licensing guide. As you know, let's say you have the Windows application, you have purchased a laptop, and you need to, if you want to start using that laptop, then what would be the first step? First, you need to install the Windows operating system, right? For that, we have different licenses. We have like Windows Professional Edition and Windows Home Edition. That way, Office Edition, different editions we have. That is nothing but the licenses, right? So based upon your requirement, you will choose the license and you will purchase the license. That's how it works, right? In the same way, now BMW, if BMW decided to go with Dynamics CRM, they need to decide what type of licenses we need to purchase from Microsoft. For that, we have the licensing guide. You can also check in the Google. This is, as a consultant, you may not require that much information on, but as we are into the consultant, as we are moving into the Dynamics 365, you should be aware of all the things, right? So actually, your admin team will decide like which license they will purchase and all. But you should have some knowledge on it. So this is the licensing guide there. You can also download from the Google. I will share this in the WhatsApp group. This is how the licensing guide will be. Here, this licensing guide, it will clearly explain and it will clearly provide what type of licenses we have. If you see here, Dynamics 365 Business Central, Commerce, Field Service, Finance, and lot of licenses we have here, right? So among it, whatever the licenses the company is looking for, that license will be purchased by the company. So I will share this document. This is like just for paper reading. You can go through it, but not now. Maybe after 1 week or 10 days, after you are getting some knowledge on it. What actually this license is in the sense, if I took the license, what type of if I took the license, what tables? This is like tables in the database. What type of tables I am going to get access? 1 second. Yeah, sorry. Here we have the lot of tables available in the database. What type of tables this license, by taking the different licenses, some of the tables will get access. Now let's say if you take an example of account table, if you take the customer service professional license, you will get access on the accounts table. On account table, you can create the record, you can update the record, you can delete the record. And if you get the enterprise, again you can have. But if you take the team member license, you are not going to get access for the accounts. This is how this licensing guide you need to review. And I mean to say, this is just for your information. You may understand it or not. That's nothing. That is not going to affect you anyway. This is how your management will decide. Now let's come back to here. Now, as a BMW company, as an administrator, to plan my business with the CRM applications, I will decide what type of license I'm going to purchase. Right? Now, let's say I would like to go with marketing, sales, and service. These are the applications which I will require, right? Currently, if I want to go with this service, what I need to do, I want to purchase Dynamic 365 customer service enterprise edition. This type of license we need to purchase. So how to purchase? Now, I have decided to purchase this license. Then how you are going to purchase the licenses? For that, we can create some trial account. Before purchasing that, we can create some trial account. So here, this is like trial account where you could start. This is Microsoft website. Choose your trial. So you can choose if you want to go test the sales, if you want to test the service, if you want to test the marketing, you can choose any of the service and you can start creating your trial account. So now let's say if I want to go with the trial account of service here. So here Dynamics 365 customer service, try for free, right? Here you need to fill your all the details here, your email ID, and after you are providing this your email ID, it will ask for your phone number, and then you need to follow with the addresses. And that's how I will share the link to you. With this information, I can with this particular follow with this link, you are able to create a trial account. Now, after creating a trial account, uh, for creating a trial account, I will share the separate document and YouTube video as well. Step by step link will be there, how to create a trial account. So I will share that link later. That is simple. How you are going to create a Gmail account with your phone number, email ID, and your name, first name, last name, and your address and all that. In the same way, you need to create a trial account there, right? For that, you need to have some one email ID and phone number. Why? Because OTP will be sent to your phone number, and this particular account will be with you for 29 days. And after 29 days, the account will be suspended. So if you want to continue the trial account, you need to pay the fee. But I am not recommending you that to pay the fee. But instead of it, you can create another trial account after 29 days, and you can put another email ID and another phone number. That's how you need to do practice without purchasing the license. As you are in the trial thing, as you are learning this dynamic CRM, don't invest in, I mean to say, don't purchase the licenses and all, right? So now let's come back to the thing here. Now BMW has decided to purchase the license and all. After purchasing a license, what would be the first point here? For anything, for anything, there should be some admin centers where the admin can make some activities, right? The admin can make some activities like they need to create users, they need to create some security roles, they need to build up some data, they need to create some organization URLs and all, right? For that, we have some admin centers in the system. So what are the admin centers we have in the sense? One is Power Platform Admin Center. And one is Microsoft 365. This is Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And one is Azure. So these are the three admin centers which we are going to work in the Dynamics CRM. సో ఇప్పటి వరకు మనం డైనమిక్ సిఆర్ఎం డెమోలో నేను ఏం చూసాను చెప్పాను. సో ఇప్పుడు జస్ట్ మీకు బిఫోర్ డైనమిక్ సిఆర్ఎం కోర్ సబ్జెక్ట్ అర్థమయ్యేక ముందు అసలు డైనమిక్ సిఆర్ఎం ఎలా స్టార్ట్ చేయాలి అనుకున్నప్పుడు లెట్స్ బిఎండబ్ల్యూ సేమ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకున్నాను. బిఎండబ్ల్యూ అనే కంపెనీ ఇఫ్ డిసైడెడ్ డైనమిక్స్ 365 వాడదాం అని డిసైడ్ అయిన తర్వాత ఫస్ట్ లైసెన్సెస్ ఏమున్నాయో తెలుసుకోవాలి మార్కెట్లో, రైట్? సో ఆ లైసెన్సెస్ గురించి నేను లైసెన్సింగ్ గైడ్ ఏదైతే డౌన్లోడ్ చేశానో గూగుల్ నుంచి, సేమ్ ఆ లైసెన్సింగ్ గైడ్ తోటి ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ తోటి వాట్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ లైసెన్స్ దే రిక్వైర్డ్ అన్నది వాళ్ళు డిసైడ్ చేసుకొని ఒక లైసెన్సింగ్ డిసైడ్ చేసుకుంటారు అనమాట. సో ఇది లైసెన్సింగ్ గైడ్. ఐ విల్ షేర్ దిస్ డాక్యుమెంట్ టు యూ. I will share this in the notepad so that you can go through it. సో ఒక లైసెన్స్ గైడ్ అనేది మీరు జస్ట్ ఈ డాక్యుమెంట్ జస్ట్ పేపర్ రీడింగ్ లాగా వెళ్ళండి. జస్ట్ మీకు ఒక మినిమం బేసిక్ అండర్స్టాండింగ్ ఉంటుంది అసలు లైసెన్సెస్ ఎలా ఇస్తుంది డైనమిక్స్ సిఆర్ఎం అని. సో దాంట్లో ప్రొఫెషనల్ ఎడిషన్ అని, ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ ఎడిషన్, డిఫరెంట్ ఎడిషన్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఇవన్నీ తీసుకున్న తర్వాత జస్ట్ ఒక ట్రయల్ అకౌంట్ మనం క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం. ట్రయల్ అకౌంట్ ఎందుకు? సంథింగ్ మీరు ఏదన్నా పర్చేస్ చేసే ముందు యూ నీడ్ టు ట్రయల్ ఇట్, రైట్? వాట్ ఆర్ ద అప్లికేషన్స్ యూ హ్యావ్ అంటారు. ఫర్ దట్ మనకి ట్రయల్ అకౌంట్ ఒకటి క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ట్రయల్ అకౌంట్ ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేయాలన్నది ఒక లింక్ నేను మీకు యూట్యూబ్తో పాటు ఇస్తాను. దాంతో మీరు ట్రయల్ అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. బట్ ఇప్పుడు కాదు, ఒక 2 days తర్వాత క్రియేట్ చేయండి, ఎందుకంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ 29 days కాబట్టి. సో దానికి బిఫోర్ ఒక ట్రయల్ అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ ఏముంటుంది? సో 3 అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్స్తో మనం వర్క్ చేస్తాం డైనమిక్స్ సిఆర్ఎం. అది పవర్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్, మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ 365 అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్ అండ్ అజ్యూర్ అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్ అనమాట. సో ఇవి ఏంటి? ఈ పవర్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఏంటి అంటే, సో ఇక్కడ మీకు కొంత మనకి సబ్జెక్ట్ లోకి వెళ్ళేక ముందు బిఫోర్ ఎంటరింగ్ ఇన్ టు ద సబ్జెక్ట్ యూ షుడ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ సమ్ బేసిక్ టెక్నాలజీ హియర్. సో దట్స్ హౌ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఫస్ట్ డే I used to go through the terminology first. I am assuming that you are new to the Dynamics CRM and you are new to this platform. So let me explain you the terminology first, so that this terminology which you are going to use in your lifetime throughout your Dynamics 365 career. So some of the terminology here is like tenant, environment, instances, organization URL, GUID, deployment. So these are the some of the terminology which you are regularly using while you are working with this admin center or while you are working with the Dynamics 365 applications. So what is this terminology? What is the tenant? So if you remember yesterday we discussed about the tenant, right? Single tenant architecture and multi-tenant architecture, Yesterday we are discussing this part, right? What is tenant? Tenant is nothing but, now let's say you have created one, you have taken a license from Dynamics 365. So after taking a license, what this Microsoft should assign you some space in their storage to you, right? That's nothing but, now let's say Microsoft, after purchasing a license, they have allocated you some space in their server. Let's say this is your space. Now after you are purchasing a license like Yaksha IT, as an Yaksha IT, just I purchased my license. Right? For this Yaksha IT, they have assigned some space in the server. This is my tenant. Right? This is your tenant. So tenant is nothing but whatever, after purchasing a license, they are going to provide you some space in their server. The space which you have been you assigned, right? So that space, that we are going to call it as tenant. So whatever the operations or whatever the applications or whatever the organizations which you are going to create, everything will be in this tenant only, right? This is called tenant. I will show you how this tenant and all. This is what the tenant terminology is. And coming to this environment, now let's say any organization, any companies who are creating some websites or creating some software and all, there should be some process, right? Now let's say, now let's say I have this Yaksha IT Solutions, one of the website. Now, otherwise, let's take an ICICI Bank. Again, this ICICI Bank belongs to, this is like Microsoft customer only. They are using Dynamics 365 only. Now, whatever the ICICI Bank website you are accessing here, this is nothing but the production. What is production? Production is nothing but the end user are using their application. This is the production, right? In the same way, here now, in the same way, any company will create one organization, one environment. Environment is nothing but the place where you are going to work there. That is nothing but one organization URL, one URL, right? Where actually your operations are performed. There will be different environments in the system. That is called environment. We'll explain you in detail. What is this instances? Instances is nothing but, in this environment, you may have different applications like sales, service, and marketing. But if you want to target on a particular application and you want to have different organization URL, different URL for your single business application. Now, let's say for only sales, if you want to have the different instance there, that is nothing but instance, right? I mean to say, now if you created any trial account or something, any account, in that account, you may have sales, service, and all. That is, in your environment you can have sales, service, field service and all, but the instance is nothing but, you are just creating an instance only for a single application, only for the sales you have created one organization. That is nothing but the instance here, right? And what is this organization URL? Organization URL is nothing but whatever the environment or whatever the instance you have opened, the URL itself we will call it as, this is called organization URL, right? And what is this GUID? GUID is nothing but global unique identifier. The name, it is like global unique identifier. For each and every record or for each and every table or each and every thing, whatever you take in the Dynamics here, for everything there will be some GUID, that is unique identifier. So based upon the GUID, we are going to fetch the data in the database, in the backend, right? And coming to this deployment, this is like regular thing, as you know, this is like regular thing. The deployment is nothing but, you may be aware of it, like this weekend we have the sprint, this weekend we have the deployment, this month we have the deployment. What actually this deployment? Deployment is nothing but the process of moving the solution from one instance to another instance is nothing but the deployment. Why this is required? Why this is required in the sense, now let's say your team has different, your organization have different team, right? So now let's say every organization will have some development team, and then there is some quality assurance team, some user acceptance team, and some production, the end users who are using your instance. Now let's say I have an organization, the URL looks like this, whatever. Let's say Yaksha IT crm.dynamics.com. Let's say this is my organization URL, or this is my environment, or this is my instance, whatever you can call it, right? So this is my dev instance. So to make this read, you, let's say I will create one organization URL in this way. How you are going to create this organization URL, that I will explain you everything. Before to it, just try to understand basic core concept, how this dynamic CRM is going to look, right? Now let's say to start my business, now, like let's take the BMW. Now as a BMW company, I decided to go with Dynamics 365, right? Now what I will do, first I will create one organization URL here, like BMW dev underscore CRM dot dynamics dot com. Now what will happen? Whatever the requirement I have, this requirement, I have some developers, I have some functional consultant, I have some consultants, and they will start building my application as per my requirement, as per my BMW requirement. That means the actual work, the consultant actual work will be done in this particular instance, right? After doing here, now I have some quality. After developers perform their action, I need to test my solution, right? For that, I will create another instance here. That is my quality acceptance instance. That means this is separate organization URL, separate website, you can call it as in the simple words, but it's not like correct word in the dynamic CRM, but just to make you understand for now, I have created two different URLs. One is to perform the development activities. This is nothing but whatever the development activities is required here, that would be performed by developers. Once this is performed, they will move the solution to to this instance like QA. Here, my quality acceptance team will test the solution, and if it is everything is fine without any bugs, they will move the solution, and they will give the acceptance. Then after giving the acceptance, they will move the solution to the UAT. What is UAT? That is nothing but user acceptance testing. This user acceptance test team, what they will do, they will feed the data. Now let's say I have one bank application here, bank application to open a bank account. There we need to provide the name, middle name, last name, phone number, email, gender, and everything, right? In the same way, how the end user is going to enter the data, that this user acceptance team will test the data with the accurate data and all. With the test cases, different test cases, right? Manual testing, automation testing, or whatever. With all this stuff, they will test my application, and if everything is fine, they will give the approval to move to the production. Then here actually my end URL will be like this: bmw.crm.dynamics.com. Now the solution here, now if you see here in the dev system, in the dev URL, they have developed something, and they moved the solution to the quality team, and they have tested the solution. And if everything is fine, they will provide the approval, and again that solution will be moved to the UAT, and from there it will come to the production. This is my production instance. The production is nothing but what actually the end user is going to use my solution. This is how the system will work in Dynamics 365. Now, as a BMW company, I purchased a license, and in my tenant, where I'm going to create all these organization URLs in my tenant. In my tenant, I'm going to create different environments. Now, this is one environment. This is another. This is another. This is another. So I have created 4 different environments. This is how the basic thing, how the companies are maintaining their instances and all. I mean to say, as you know, right? So let's say BMW wants to have some different extra functionality. All of a sudden, they decided to have extra functionality to operate, right? Now they can't directly work on the production, right? That's a basic thing. So for that, what they will do, the development team will work on this organization URL. They will simply open this organization URL and start creating the application, start creating the new forms or new tables or whatever. And after this is done, they will move to the quality acceptance and UAT. This is like regular process, right? The process here, that's what the process of moving the solution from one instance or one environment to another is nothing but this is called a deployment process. Now you got it. So this is like basic understanding. What is this deployment in a sense? The process of moving one solution to another, moving the solution from one environment to another environment is nothing but the deployment. Got it? This is the deployment. This is the basic terminology which you need to understand. Now, theoretical wise, like BMW has decided to go with Dynamics 365, and we have the licensing guide, and we can create a licenses and all, right? And where actually these environments we can create, where we can create this environment. Let's see that part now. సో ఇప్పటి వరకు మనం చూసింది ఏంటి అంటే డైనమిక్స్ 365 ని లైసెన్సింగ్ గైడ్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, లైసెన్సెస్ ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి అన్నది ఒక లైసెన్స్ గైడ్ ఉంటుంది. సో యువర్ కంపెనీ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో వాళ్ళు డిసైడ్ అవుతారు ఏ లైసెన్స్ తీసుకోవాలి అని. ఒకసారి లైసెన్స్ తీసుకున్న తర్వాత ఒక అకౌంట్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం వరకే మేనేజ్మెంట్ వాళ్ళ పని. సో మీ డైనమిక్స్ 365 అడ్మినిస్ట్రేటర్ ఈ యాక్టివిటీస్ చేయాలంటే యాక్చువల్లీ యూ షుడ్ హ్యావ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 10 years ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్. But as a consultant, you should know what's happening in the background, right? That's the reason I'm just giving these inputs to you. Now, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏ యాక్టివిటీస్ అయినా చేయాలి అంటే అడ్మిన్లోనే చేస్తాం, రైట్? ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏదైనా జీమెయిలే ఉంది, జీమెయిల్లో మీ థీమ్ మార్చాలన్నా, కలర్ మార్చాలన్నా ఎక్కడ చేస్తాం? సెట్టింగ్స్లో చేస్తాం. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ అడ్మిన్ యాక్టివిటీస్ అంటాం, రైట్? యాజ్ సింపుల్ యాజ్ దట్. జస్ట్ ట్రై టు అప్లై టు ద సింపుల్ రెగ్యులర్ యూసేజ్. మీరు సింపుల్గా రెగ్యులర్గా యూస్ చేస్తున్నా దానికి అప్లై చేసుకోండి. ఇట్ వుడ్ బి లైక్ ఈజీ ఫర్ యూ. సో ఇప్పుడు అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్స్ లో మనకి ఏమేమి అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్స్ ఇక్కడ డైనమిక్స్ సిఆర్ఎం లో ఉంటాయంటే పీప్యాక్ ఒకటి, మైక్రోసాఫ్ట్ 365, అజ్యూర్ ఒకటి. ఎందుకు ఈ అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్స్ ఉంటాయంటే ఒక్కొక్క దానికి దేర్ ఓన్ డెఫినేషన్ ఉంది. విల్ సీ దట్ విల్ సీ వై దిస్ 3 ఈస్ రిక్వైర్డ్, రైట్? సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ 3 అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఈ 3 అడ్మిన్ సెంటర్స్ ని మనం ఓపెన్ చేసి చూసే ముందు మనకి కొంత టెర్మినాలజీ తెలిసి ఉండాలి. అది టెనెంట్, ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్, ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్, ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూఆర్ఎల్, జియూఐడి అండ్ డిప్లాయ్మెంట్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ టెనెంట్ అంటే మీరు ఒక లైసెన్స్ కొన్నప్పుడు ఒక సపరేట్ స్పేస్ ఇస్తారు కదా, దట్ స్పేస్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ యువర్ టెనెంట్. సో ఈ టెనెంట్ లోనే మీరు ఎన్ని ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్నా, లైక్ ఇప్పుడు డెవ్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ కానీ, క్యూఏ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ కానీ, యూఏటీ కానీ, ప్రొడక్షన్ కానీ ఏవి చేసుకున్నా ఈ టెనెంట్ లోనే చేసుకోవాలి, రైట్? సో ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే, ఇన్స్టెన్స్ అంటే ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ లో ఇప్పుడు మీకు సేల్స్, సర్వీస్, మార్కెటింగ్ అన్ని ఒక అప్లికేషన్స్ అన్ని ఒకే ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ లో ఉండొచ్చు, అన్ని ఒకే ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ లో ఉండొచ్చు. లేదు ఒక ఇన్స్టెన్స్, ఒక సేల్స్ కోసం నేను సపరేట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూఆర్ఎల్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటాను. దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ యువర్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్, రైట్? వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూఆర్ఎల్ అంటే దిస్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ యువర్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ యూఆర్ఎల్. GUID అంటే ఫర్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ రికార్డ్, ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ టేబుల్, ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ ఫీల్డ్, for everything there will be some unique identifier. That is nothing but GUID, that is global unique identifier, right? What is deployment ante the process of moving the solution from one instance to another instance is nothing but the deployment, right? This is the basic understanding. ఇక్కడ మీకు డెవ్, క్యూఏ, యూఐటీ, ప్రొడక్షన్ అని చెప్పాను కదా. కొంతమందికి వేరే కొన్ని కంపెనీస్ బట్టి మారుతూ ఉంటాయి, బట్ మెయిన్ హార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఇదే ఉంది. కొంత ఇక్కడ స్టేజింగ్ అనేది కొత్తగా ఒకటి పెట్టుకుంటారు, స్టేజ్ 1, stage 2. So that's totally depends upon the company style, how they are moving the solution and how they are testing the application. That's totally their individual decision, but final goal will be like this. So how many instances they are going to create, how many environments they are going to create, and how they are going to move the solution, that's totally depends upon their own decision. That's different from one company to another company, right? This is basic understanding. Now, yesterday I just created one trial account just for this batch purpose, this training purpose. So to access that particular let me open my account. Here you could see admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. This is your organization, this is your admin center, one of the admin center, that is PPAC. The URL of this is admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. Here I already logged into my browser with my details, so this automatically take me to that account. Here you could see Suresh YIT at the rate YIT393.onmicrosoft.com. This is my login ID where I can log into my system. So I already logged into the system and the password is saved in the browser, so it automatically logs me into this account, right? Here, if you click on this admin.powerplatform.microsoft, it will ask for username and password. You need to provide your username and password. Once it is provided, this is how the Power Platform Admin Center looks like. This is the first step or this is the first slide where you are going to see your Dynamics 365, right? So here to open this Power Platform Admin Center, you can also type this one. Otherwise, in the shortcut way, you can simply type aka.ms/ppack. So this is the another URL where you can also access your Power Platform Admin Center. Simply aka.ms/ppack. It will ask for username and password. Then it will automatically route your URL to admin.powerplatform.microsoft.com. Got it? Once this is done, it will load your Power Platform Admin Center. Now, now what the thing? Now just we have created uh, trial account. Of course, how to create a trial account, that I'm going to share you a separate YouTube link where you can. It's like simple. I will share you the URL of I'm going to say trial account where you are going to create a trial account. There you need to follow the username and password. Sorry, your mail ID and phone number. But that's not now. After 2 to 3 classes. Why? Because it's like 29 days only. If you start now itself, till 4 to 5 days, you are not going to practice anything on that instance. So unnecessarily among 29 days, you are going to lose the 5 days. So that's the reason I'm share this particular link in the next Tuesday or Wednesday, right? So now once log into here you could say Power Platform Admin Center. And first thing you need to remember here, as you know, Microsoft is like vast services they are providing. Whatever is required for your Dynamics 365, only that part we are going to use in this admin centers. Maybe it is PPAC, maybe it is Azure, or maybe it is Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Whatever we require, that's only we are going to use. Why? Because different applications are involved, are supported by Microsoft. Other applications will also use the same admin center, right? Here now the thing here you could see environments. Click on this environments. Here it shows list of environments you have. So I just created the trial account yesterday, right? Once you created this trial account, what will happen? Only this default one will be available. But remaining things which I have created. How to create an environment? Now let's say BMW has purchased a license or created a trial account. This is how it looks like. After purchasing a license with their user ID, just if they logs into the account, admin.powerplatform.com, this is the first page they are going to see in the environment only with this one, BMW default. Here I just given as Yaksha IT, YIT. It will show only default. Now, as a BMW company, if I want to create one new instance or new environment, how you are going to create that one? Here, creation of environment is also like very much easy. Here, no scripts or no coding is required. It's like UI based thing where you can create some different organization URLs with the single clicks only, right? So, how to create an environment? Here, click on this plus new button. Here you could see the plus new button, right? And before creating a new account, here I could see some of the accounts I could see, right? Here I have created this only for the sales, right? If you click on this sales, it shows the environment details, what actually this environment and what is the version of it and all. This is my organization URL, right? org so on xxx.crm8.dynamics.com. If I click on this account, this is your Dynamics 365 page where you are going to see your applications. You could see this is your applications. This is your application like sales application. We here simply like plug and play situation. If you see here, yesterday night itself, I have created an account and it shows like you have 30 days left in your free trial and all. And I have not developed anything. I have not created anything, but you could see a lot of functionality where you could see here like there is something the menu sort of thing, and there is some dashboards here. Right? There is different contacts, accounts. How this everything is built. This is how the system will. As I said, this is like out of the box functionality. Some of the functionality is already available in the system. You need to make use of that functionality. If you want to customize the existing one, you can do it. You can, if you want to configure it, you can do it. Uh, that's how it works. Now, before to it, now let's say how this particular dynamic CRM is done. As you know, every team has like research and development team. This dynamic 365 have the research and development team. Based upon the research throughout the globe, based upon the research on different platforms like automobiles, oil and industry, banking, and etc. etc. They have designed a system in such a way that any industry can easily use their application. Right now, let's say here contacts and accounts. What is this contacts and accounts? Every company should have their contacts. I mean to say customer contacts. You can maintain the customer contacts here, the accounts, any if you are dealing with any organizations and all. You can have the contacts, accounts, you can have the leads information, you can have the opportunities information. If you want to create any calls, if you want to make a calls, if you want to create any tasks, everything it is like predefined. So based upon the research and all, it is like feasible where you can simply plug and play the option. But as you know, every company has their own business approach. So for that, there is a flexibility that you can have some consultants, and the consultants can customize the existing application. Now let's say here contacts and accounts, instead of it I want to make it as customers, the name as customers, you can make it. Instead of account and contacts, if you want to create a new table or new item in this menu, that you can create it with the help of consultant, right? That means whatever the applications we have, uh, we can simply plug and play. We can use the application, and you can also create new applications, right? So let's say here this is like environment. This is how the environment will looks like. Now before to it, as I said, now it's like brand new. I mean to say, after purchasing a trial account, after purchasing a license and all, first thing what you need to perform, you need to click on this plus new button, new environment. That means it is asking you to create some new environment here, and whatever the name you would like to have. Now let's say if you want to have the BMW, right? Make this as a managed environment. This will explain you what is managed and what is unmanaged. We'll explain you in the later. There should be some group, and whatever is required, I'm just covering this now. So to explain you managed or group, I need to give some background of it. We'll explain you in detail in the coming days. But for now, how to create after creating a trial account, how to create an environment. Simply click on this plus new button and select the region, maybe India or US or whatever the region you take. Here, while creating an environment, whatever the region you have selected, you can't change the region in the near future. In the future, once you have selected, that would be like fixed. You can't change the region. And the type of the environment, like developer, production, sandbox. Here I am just discussing, right? You may have the developer instance, QA instance, UAT instance on production. QA stage 1, stage 2, UAT, this all comes under sandboxes. And this developer edition and this production edition. So you can also select what type of environment you are going to select. Yes, I have the trial one. Here it shows the trial subscription based and trial, developer, production, and sandbox. You can select any one of it. You can go with in the initial days as the trial. You can go with the trial account, and you can have some purpose like it's not mandatory. Add a data works, data store. What is this one? So here, if you select this one, automatically it will create some background database. The database will be created, and whatever the applications you have installed, those application related tables will be available in the database. Right? Click on next here. Here it will ask you what is the base language you want to choose, and what is the currency like IST, sorry, INR or USD dollars or whatever you can select. And what is this security group? This security group is nothing but to what type of users you are going to provide access to your instance. That's you need to select here. Uh, don't panic with this one. Each and every step we are going to see in detail in the concept. What is this security groups? What is this group names and all that I will explain you in detail. This security group, you can select none for now as we have not covered the security concept, right? And this activity will perform by your management only. You are not going to do this job until you have the 10 years. About 10 years, you should have to complete. If you want to get this type of task, you may have at least 10 years of experience. But how this to be done, that's you need to understand, right? Security group, like none, enable Dynamics 365 apps and click save. Now what will happen? This will create an environment at this. Here the state it shows like preparing. Once this is ready, you can start exploring your account. But now if I click on save, it will throws an error for me. Why? Because for a trial account, I can't create more environments. As a trial, I have some limitations there. Now let's say if I click on the save here, it shows you have reached the limit of one trial environment, create and production to continue. That means for the, as I purchase the trial account, as I just signed up for trial account, for the trial account, it won't allow you to take more instances there. So that's the reason it shows. But while if you are taking an account with your email ID or phone number, for the first time, whatever you are taking the trial, it will successfully create the trial account like this. And this is how it shows. Here in the state, it shows the processing. After some time, it will make it as ready. Once it is ready, you can simply click on that account so that it will take you to that particular organization you want. So you know how to create an environment now from the Power Platform Admin Center. Why this Power Platform Admin Center is required? Power Platform Admin Center is required to create a trial account. Sorry, Power Platform Admin Center is required to create some instances there. That means here Power Platform Admin Center, why it is required in the sense to manage environments, to manage or to create or manage, to create or we are going to use this Power Platform Admin Center. And by creating an environment, so what actually you need to remember is the thing is there will be some base settings. We will call it as base settings. In the interview perspective, they will ask what are the base settings for the environment. The base setting is nothing but language, region, and currency. We have seen, right, while creating an environment, we have selected the English, region as India, and currency as INR, right? So whenever you are creating the environment, at that time we are going to select these settings. If this is called base settings. Why base settings? In the sense, once once you select the language, region, or currency, it will not be changed. So while creating an environment, you can't. While creating an environment, if you select the language, region, or currency, in the future, you are not able to change any settings there. If it is English, that would be in the English only. If it is like Chinese, it would be in the Chinese only. That means base settings we can't change. But you may ask like, the application will be used by different locations with the different people where may they may not know the language of English. They may like Portuguese or something. Further, there is a concept called personalization settings. Personalization settings. What is personalization settings in the sense? Now, if your base language is English, right? And as an user, I'm from China maybe. I know only Chinese language. Then in the personalization settings, I can change my personalization settings to the China language, so that whatever the applications I am seeing, I can read the applications, I can see the data, everything in my Chinese language. That you can manage from the personalization settings. So how you are going to have this personalization settings, and that way everything we can see in the once we log into the system. So now let's say this is my thing. Here you could see personalization settings, right? Here in this personalization settings, you can change your languages. And here currently it is in English, right? So if you want to change the personalization settings from English to another language, then you can change from this personalization settings. So it is a little bit slow, I guess. So this is how the personalization settings and all will be created. Yeah, here you could see the languages, right? Here it shows user interface language, English, help language, English. Why it is only showing English? Why? Because till now, this is like brand new. We have not installed any languages in the system. So as an administrator, if you install any languages, then only that languages will be available to the front-end users. How to install the languages, that we will cover in the coming classes. So once we enable the languages as an administrator, the end user can change their personalization settings from the front end, right? So this is called base setting. So just for a recap, today we have seen what is licensing guide. So how to start with Dynamics 365 first of all. To start with Dynamics 365, you need to understand what are the licenses we have in the system. So for that, we just taken an example of Dynamics 365 Customer Service Enterprise. This is one of the license, enterprise license. If you go with this type of license, and you can purchase the licenses, and once you starting the scenario, you can see the three admin centers there: Power Platform Admin Center, Microsoft 365, and Azure. And we have seen some of the terminology here, and I have explained the deployment process and what actually this deployment process and all. One second. So here, the different environments where we need to create, right? Now you may have some idea. Now let's, here you could see Power Platform Admin Center, right? This is your Power Platform Admin Center. This is your platform admin center. So whatever the operations you are performing here, you are creating your environment and all, right? This is nothing but your tenant. Whatever the screen you are seeing, right? This is your tenant, where in this tenant you are maintaining your environments and all. Now the terminology wise you are able to get it, right? This is your tenant. Once you purchase the license, whatever wherever you are working, that is your tenant. And environment is nothing but you are creating different environments there, right? What the environment? For the based upon the type, maybe you can select the development, you can select the sandbox for the QA and UAT, and production, and for the trial there is a different types of environments we have. You can select the type of environment, you can create an environment, you understand the environment, right? Instance is nothing but here I have created only for the sales, only the sales. There is no other instances, no other application in this sales. That is sales, right? That is instance. And organization URL is nothing but now here, this is my organization URL. Whatever the organization environment, right? This is my organization URL. Got it? Uh, this is GUID, global unique identifier. For each and every thing, you could see some GUID. Now let's say for this environment, this is your GUID, global unique identifier. This is like GUID. This is nothing but global unique identifier. Each and every record in the system will maintain with some GUIDs, right? This is the GUID where you can see in the top of in your URL. If you have any issues in the future with this product, once we are raising a ticket to the Microsoft, once we are raising a ticket, this is the GUID which we need to provide to the which we are going to provide to the Microsoft, right? This is the GUID, global unique identifier. For each and everything, you could see the different GUID. Now here you could see F5 and ending with D7. And so this is how it works, right? Here it shows different GUIDs, 210 and D7, right? Different GUIDs will be created for the different items. This is not only for the environment. Once you are into the system, you are working with the tables and or you are working with the data. For everything, it shows the different GUIDs there. Yeah, if you see here the contacts, now let's say this is your contacts. If you open any contact, this contact in the URL, you could also see one GUID. Contact ID equals, this is the GUID of this Alex record, right? And for each and every record, you can have some different GUIDs. Now you are getting the point, like what is GUID? This is like global unique identifier. Each and every record or each and every item will have the different GUIDs. That is GUID. And what is deployment? The process of moving the solution from one instance to another instance. That is nothing but the deployment. Right? We have seen what is this Power Platform Admin Center. We just seen how the screen looks like. Power Platform Admin Center. In it, there is an environment. How to create a new environment we have seen. While creating a new environment, what options we need to select that we have seen. Right? While creating an environment, there will be some base settings. Once the base setting is fixed, you can't change the base setting, like language, region, or currency. So this is your base setting. And if you want to change the language or not, there will be a personalization setting, right? Personalization settings where the user can change the language. The user can change only the language and currency, but not the region. Remember this point. So the user can change their language and their currency. If it is in INR for the base, if the customer wants to see in the USD, they can change the currency from the personalization settings. That's how these personalization settings will work. This is about the Power Platform Admin Center, but there is lot of things we need to understand in the Power Platform Admin Center, like what is the version number and what actually all these items like state, what is this security group, what is this type, and everything will be covered in the next coming session. Right. This is for today. Please let me know if you have any questions on today's yesterday's session. And yesterday demo notes also I missed to share in the WhatsApp group. Today I'm going to share this demo notes and also today's this notes in the WhatsApp group. And as you know, the link will be posted, the YouTube video link will be posted in the WhatsApp group by my admin team. You can go through it. And if you have any questions on today's or yesterday's, you can also ping in the WhatsApp group. At least within couple of hours, I'm going to reply you over the WhatsApp group. Yeah, please let me know if you have any questions.
Sir, I wanted the demo session link also for yesterday's class. I actually missed it.
Yeah, Abdullah, you are in the group, Abdullah, or not?
Yeah, I'm there.
Yesterday, I guess they have posted it.
I
You have
think they have.
added. Okay, okay. You have. Okay. You do one thing, Abdullah. Just ping in the group. I think
Mm,
Ashok has added you, right? Just
yes.
ping, refer to the Ashok. Just ask him to reshare the link there.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, just give me a second. Yeah, I just reposted in the group. You can check that one. That is the demo link yesterday's one. And today they will post within an hour.
All right.
Abdullah, are you aware of Telugu? You know the
No, no,
Telugu?
sir. No, I'm not aware of Telugu, so
Okay, okay, that's
I
fine.
didn't disturb you in the middle because you were continuing, so I didn't disturb you. But I'm a little bit. I'm not
Okay.
perfect. I'm not good
Uh,
at Telugu.
Actually, that's
So
fine.
please,
Actually, some of them are requesting for it. So after completion of in the English, I just recapping
yeah,
in
yeah.
the
You
Telugu.
can recap in that Telugu. No problem.
Okay, if anything comes up, let me know.
All right.